Hello everyone! Welcome to more Retrothon 2024. How about all those recent runs? Cypher and nailing Russian attack, another brilliant chest jerk Arkanoid run, and all of the woo that we could ever ask for in Gauntlet. Thank you, Yellsrake. I need to mute myself on Retro Gaming Live TV. I did not know that was still up. Sorry about that. What you are all about to see, good or bad, will hopefully at least be entertaining, too, as we take Wednesday into Thursday. My name is Seirea. I love River City Ransom, and I speedrun all sorts of games from this franchise, the Kunio-kun franchise. Although I had the great joy of participating in Mad Mega's Nest Block at this year's AGDQ, this is my first time ever performing a live speedrun for a marathon, and it just feels right that it's this game. It was the first game I ever commentated for a marathon, the first game I ever ran 10 years ago, and very likely, the first video game I ever played in my life as a toddler. Which probably explains why I turned out so weird, but I'm that much more grateful for it. The moment this schedule came out, I was overjoyed to see that I would be a part of a trio of runs that involved me, Chest Jerk, and Yellsrake, the crew that presented Arkanoid at this year's AGDQ. Initially, I was set to be in between them, so I could once again get to be sandwiched between those two brothers, and let me tell you, that is every bit as exciting as it sounds. Unfortunately, this marathon is running incredibly smoothly, so Yellsrake had to graciously swap with me due to my work schedule, so now instead, I guess I'm bringing up their rear, which is also deeply... Let's not finish that sentence. Let's get into the game, huh? This game is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with RPG elements, and it's one of the most iconic Kunio-kun games. We're going to be stopping in certain rooms to fight enemies, defeat the bosses, and trigger flags to open up the endgame, one by one. We like to lovingly refer to this speedrun as a running simulator with a boss rush, and with the ever-intimidating Slick explaining the stakes that we all dealt with in high school, I will get us going in 3, 2, 1. Barf! Alright, if you have experience with River City Ransom, you probably know already what the new players will discover pretty quickly. The special moves, or techniques, in this game greatly reduce the difficulty of fighting, especially the techniques that replace regular attacks with rapid-fire knockdown attacks. Those techniques are Stone Hands, Dragon Feet, and Grand Slam, and can be bought in, like, that third screen of the game that we just passed in that previous mall. And those are enough to give you an immediate massive advantage over all the enemies. I mean, Stone Hands and Dragon Feet are available in that first mall. So people playing this game casually often grind money to buy one of those special moves as soon as possible, and that is how this game's speedrun was done as well for a long time. However, a runner named Namako first introduced the strategy of waiting to buy Stone Hands until the middle of the game, which makes things significantly harder and less safe, but saves a hefty amount of time because you can just collect all the necessary money while progressing through the game. Oh wow, hello. While progressing through the game instead of stopping to do grind! Get me out of here. Okay. I am going to pick up this crate. I'm at the first place in the game where we are required to fight people to progress. Let me in the warehouse, please. Let me in. Get away from me. Get away from me! Thank you. This warehouse is a unique room with a wall. I need to not see the generic dudes. It's a unique room with a wall in the middle, so I need to pick up this crate, which will allow me to hit enemies through this wall, which is the first sign of this game's excellent realism. They are not cooperating. That's okay. We're fine. And now, I need to wait on this side of the screen for the coins to go away, so I make sure I don't spawn the next group on the right, because then we'd have to just jump all the way back and forth. And now, let's keep the crate. So we can beat the boss. And let's keep the crate. So we can Death Warp and miss the coin! That's okay, I'll just beat up Blade twice. So that is a Death Warp. We needed to backtrack to get to the next required boss. That actually makes this game in this category a bit more complicated, and I'll explain why after I beat Blade here. I'm gonna beat him twice so I can get his money twice. And that actually leads into what I'm gonna explain. That's the Blade fight. I love it because it's so satisfying. Actually, I'm gonna do this, because we're just gonna get his chain again. Thank you, Windows! It's satisfying to throw- I do not have floating state. Okay, I forgot that I lost floating state. That, by the way, floating state is a special state that you can get in this game by doing a high jump. Anytime you do a high jump, and you land back on the ground, all of your attacks are stronger. There are several instances in this game where I am jumping, doing a high jump into room transitions to get floating state, and that makes me able to defeat enemies faster. Now, the reason that death warping makes this category a bit tougher, hello mob, is because whenever you die in this game, you lose half your money. And because we're not getting stone hands until later, we need that money. I'm going to, again, wait for them to come past here. Just be safe, because I want to keep this chain that I got from Blade for the mid-game, because we don't have stone hands yet. Very nice. A little bit laggy. And I call this the dash of death. This run with the chain all the way through this part of the game, because stuff like that can happen, and I need that chain. Okay, now we're gonna get a floating state right here and stop here to fight. I knew he was gonna throw that thing early. And basically, any single moment in this game, no matter how good you are, the game can just explode you. Here's Turk. And now we can take him out safely with these hop kicks like I did to Blade. That is the best and safest way to take out enemies in their willpower phase, their final phase of hits. Oh, that was really well coordinated! That was... Okay, let's move down. Let's move back up. That was a cool dance. So, as I was saying, this game is... They hit you. And it hurts. Okay, now, let's fight Mojo. This is my favorite fight. Nice. That's my favorite because of that little part at the end there. Just booping him off. And I should... Yeah, I have enough money because I fought Blade twice. We have... No, that would be exact change if it was $26.95. So this is where we finally get stone hands. We do not need weapons anymore. You saw me throw it away just for effect. And so naturally, I'm about to try and pick up a weapon again. I'm gonna try and hope for a crate here on the top here, because I'm about to try something incredibly stupid in a few rooms here. Because in a run where I'm trying to be as marathon safe as possible, let's try and do a really stupid trick that looks cool, right? And it's coming up. Where are the gentlemen? Okay, they're there. That was really scary. Okay, and I'm going to wait to equip stone hands till right now, because it will skip the door animation, and that saves a few frames. And now the moment of truth. I messed it up. I messed it up again. I'll try it one more time, and I just hit myself. I choked it. Yeah, I was worried that I would do that. I was worried that I would get the perfect setup and then choke the ending. That's a shame. But it's alright. Will Bobsled has already shown off, the creator of that trick, which we call the box sled. He has already done it first try in a marathon run at the Australian speedrunning marathon. So, oh, hello! It just would have been cool to show it off, but I don't need to do that. I've already equipped stone hands, but I will try to get this fight. I messed it up too. And I got the uppercut! So everything went badly in this room. This room has the potential to be the absolute coolest room in the entire game. But I missed the box sled, and I did not get the Kobayashi shakedown, which involves a frame-perfect input. I got a weird thing that happens in the game which stores some data from previous enemies being hit, which causes an uppercut to happen instead of a stone hands, and so it would have messed up the fight anyway. But we're heading into the end game here, nothing to worry about. We got the Internationals, they are the most consistent crew here, so we are happy to see them. Now let's fight Ivan. I have floating state. I want to hit every punch here and miss him. My thumb didn't work. Okay, let's just wait. Nice. He's part of the same AI group as the Internationals, and they are obsessed with weapons. So after I missed him, he went straight for the weapon, which is okay. Not great for speed, but I've already kind of ruined the speed run at this point. So let's just try and survive from here on out. We got the Owl Boys. Nice. Okay, we still have floating state, right? We should. I missed a punch. Let's just toss him around. Let's just toss him again. And now I'm gonna try and get a 2-frame window here on the jump to get up here onto this top level. I'll miss that too, but I'll get the backup. But I have to get floating state again because I did a small jump up to the top level. I do not have floating state now. My last time leaving the ground was not a high jump, so my attacks are weaker now. And before I fight the most scary boss in the game, I want to be as strong as I can be. Blockhead! Can I please hit you? Blockhead! 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 Thank you, Blockhead. Let's get floating state back. I'm gonna do it the cool way. Yeah, that's a shame. That's alright, they threw me into the wall. How about this? I should probably move down. Yeah, why did I do that? Okay, that's a shame. Sorry. Oh, don't press pause. I could press pause. I could show off that little extra effect that happens whenever you go into a menu and then during the death text and then you unpause. Some interesting effects can happen. Will Bobsled, by doing that, has shown that the game can be haunted sometimes or something. It's pretty special. But speaking of special, this game is incredibly special to me. As I said, this is the first game I probably ever played as a kid. And that was much to my mom's chagrin, because this is a very cartoonish game, but a very violent game. So, I wonder how many of you, when you played this game growing up, had the same experience. Alright, I'll set up floating state safer this time. You see, the twins are just as dangerous as they were when you're playing normally. Because I messed them up the first time and paid for it. The final boss is not as hard. I think I hit every punch, so this should be 8 rounds. And Simon is a little bit less intimidating, you have to say, than the Dragon Twins. So, that is River City Ransom. We have not seen the last of him, because later in this marathon, I will be doing River City Ransom EX, the Game Boy Advance version of this game. Thank you all for the GGs. And that speedrun, the Any Percent run, which is a bit of a New Game Plus romp, that is one of the zanier things that you can do with a Kunio-kun game that I've seen. The entire franchise is pretty zany, but until you see what I'm going to be showing on Saturday morning, you won't believe it. And I'm excited to show that off as well. But thank you all so much for watching this River City Ransom NES run. I couldn't show off everything I wanted to, died at the places I was afraid of dying, but that's what happens. It was still such a blast, and it was still such an honor to be here. Thank you so much, everybody at RG Love. Thank you for putting on this marathon. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Will Bobsled, the legend that I brought up several times in that run, who completely revamped the entire speed run and changed every single boss fight, made them all faster and more precise and consistent, and changed the entire game to make it more consistent so I could do that world record route in a marathon and not even die until I was stupid. Just so many amazing things that Will Bobsled has done, including being the current world record holder in this category, Novice. Yelsrake was the previous world record holder, and massive shoutouts to Yelsrake, being a great friend, one of the first people I met in the speedrunning community, and has helped with moderating a lot of games that I'm a part of, and also an incredible player of this game. And we got to do some awesome co-op runs together at this year's AGDQ, and we got the world record in this, so that was really special too. And he gave me this controller that I used in this speedrun, and it's been so cool. So that's just about enough for me. If you want to learn more about this game and try and speedrun it for yourself, get into it a bit more, we do have a Discord server for this game. You can find it through the River City Ransom SRC page. And thank you, everybody. This was a blast, and I will see you again on Saturday morning. Enjoy the next run. I believe we're gonna have some Godzilla! If you're not excited for that, then you're a person who's not excited by Godzilla, and that's fair. But if you're excited for that, stick around. Let's go. Thank you.